filming a video on this look, which is really spring-like, kind of a transitional spring-like look. I live in Canada, so our spring kind of comes a little bit late, in my opinion. We don't really get spring till probably May, like in terms of any blooms and stuff. So from where I am. So I just did some yard work today. It's finally in the higher teens now, and I felt like this look would just be so pretty for this time of year where it's not fully blooming where I am, but things are starting to slowly wake up, and it's sort of a muted, sort of flowery or floral inspired bloom-like look. And I really like how it turned out, and I think it's pretty for going out when we finally can, and if not, just doing it, having fun, and looking pretty at home. So let's get to it. Okay, so we're starting off with a bit of a primer. It's not a true primer in my opinion. It just kind of lays nicely under foundation and gives a bit of a glow underneath the skin. It's all about the glow, especially for spring. So Hollywood Flawless Filter by Charlotte Tilbury. I have it in the color 2. I did have the color 3 at some point. It didn't give enough of a glow for me. It matched my skin tone too much, so I do suggest going, in my opinion, a little bit lighter just to make sure you do get that glow. So we'll do that first. I'm just going to apply a little bit just to sort of the high points of my face. I wouldn't be too shy. Top of my nose, maybe some just here. On my temples. And again, I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter in shade number 2. And what I'm going to do is probably just use a bit of a brush to blend this in. So I'm just going to my brushes over here. Just sort of like a foundation brush, and just kind of stipple it in. And you can use a sponge. I just feel like a sponge sometimes absorbs the product a little bit too much, and then you don't get as much of a glow left behind. So I like to just use a little bit of a foundation brush. Next, I'm going to use foundation. So what I'm going to use, because again, this would be a look that is a little bit more coverage, a little bit more products that we're going to use. Not full coverage by any means, but still requires, I think, a true base. So I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Foundation shade number 4. I just got this in a kind of a kit. They had like a 20% off sale. She's been having that a lot lately, where she puts certain things at 20% off, then a kind of combination kits. I really like it. I didn't think I would. I thought it would be maybe too full coverage. I'm not into full coverage, but it's really great. It's just a pea size there, and I'm just going to first dot it on. Kind of just everywhere. More in the center of my face, because if you put, I feel, too much on the edges and then you're blending out, I don't know, it just doesn't blend as easily. So I'm going to do that. And again, I'm going to use a foundation brush first and just kind of blend it in. I haven't done my brows, so I can kind of mush stuff around. I haven't done my eyes, which is nice. I like to just put the foundation sort of everywhere and blend it in just kind of on my eyes. It's finally a nice day today, which is good. I got a ton of yard work done. My kids are with my parents for most of the day, so I was able to get a ton of yard work done, which is productive. And then I have to go pick them up soon, so I thought I would just film a really quick tutorial. So my foundation's pretty much blended in. Then I take a sponge and I just go over it lightly. And that just kind of refreshes the foundation. As it's drying down, it kind of gets maybe less easy to blend. So it just kind of just like refreshes it, and I don't know, it just kind of creates a really nice, more natural skin-like finish when you just pounce a beauty sponge over top. Next, we're going to do our concealer. I'm using also the same kit. This came in, was the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Away Concealer. Kind of an interesting wand, because it's really hard to open, first of all, like a struggle and a half. And then as you're dialing it up, you don't really get product coming through right away, so you don't know when you should stop dialing. The device is the only thing I'm not a fan of, so I didn't get really enough, but if I start dialing too much, I feel like it's just going to go all over. But the product itself is really good. So I put this under my eyes, just around my nose, kind of maybe there, on my chin. And then what I do is I take something more brightening. I have the YSL Touche Eclat, and this one I have in number, I think it's number 2. And I take a bit of this and I just add it to the high points, just for a highlight effect. And then right here where your smile lines are, I feel like it just brings those, if you have those smile lines forming, which I do, it just kind of brings them out. So it sort of plumps them up visually. It's all an illusion. But we have to do what we have to do. Then I'll just kind of go over it with the sponge too. I might take a smaller sponge just to do my inner part of the eye. And the lighting I'm using is not the same as what I usually do for makeup. Usually I go in my bathroom, and so I'm not used to this lighting of being brighter. I'm by the window. I have some artificial lights here. So I'm hoping I'm blending it right. I guess we'll see. I'll sort of learn as I go how it looks on playback. So hopefully I'm blending it in okay. But we shall see. Again, it's only makeup. It's fun and it washes off, so we're not doing anything permanent here to worry about. Good. So that looks like a good base. I know it's a decent base because it's pretty much taken out all the contours and natural shading to my face. So we have a good base down, which is nice for a more full-on makeup effect. So that's good. Let's set this down. Last video I used the same products to set it down. This doesn't change very much, especially under the eye. So the Guerlain Meteorites Compact, so beautiful. Can't say enough good things about it. In number 2, I think this is now different because I watched my video back and now they have it sort of in a quad. So you don't have it sort of in this mosaic effect anymore. I don't know how that one is, so we'll see once I finish this. You know, we'll see. Again, go in, just lightly set the under eye. And then we're going to go in with a little bit more of a mattifying powder. Not super mattifying by any means, the Charlotte Tilbury powder. Again, this one is the Airbrush Flawless powder. And just set everything down, just a nice light layer. I'm going to do my brows off camera because I might do a tutorial at some point. I noticed my other video was too far away to notice what was happening, but for now I'm going to do it off camera. Okay, brows are done. They're nice and fluffy, which is what I like. This look, you could go maybe more of a structured brow. I don't really have the products anymore for structured brow. We'll see down the road. I might want to try that. So Urban Decay Primer Potion for the eyes. Let's start with the eye look. And I'm going to be featuring a few products that I actually played with the other day, and I really like how they went together. So it's a certain eyeshadow palette, a certain blush, and a certain lipstick, and I feel like together it created the most pretty mauve-y, pseudo-rosy look, kind of muted, so again, not super bright. So what I'm going to be doing is using the Natasha Denona Cranberry Palette. This was the Christmas palette from 2 years ago, which I haven't used very much. I got this in her sale this past fall for Black Friday, so I did order that in. I haven't used it very much since, but I tried it yesterday and I really like it. It doesn't really have a great transition shade, so I will go in with this Marc Jacobs bronzer and just do a really light transition. Again, nothing crazy, just to create something before I put down kind of that brighter color. I'm going to use all of the colors. I played with this yesterday and I just started layering all the colors, and at some point, by the time I put on the last color, that's when I really liked the look. It all just came together. So I'm just going to kind of go with the lighter shade out of the cranberries called Blossom. And again, I'm just going to pop that into the crease. It goes on super bright. They aren't the smoothest, so you can see it's not really the smoothest color. Like, it kind of does, in my opinion, skip a bit. It's a bit kind of on the drier side, but it'll work. Again, once I put on that last shade, it all just comes together. So here I put a little bit less on my brush and it looks way better. Here I went a little too ham. It's all good. It'll work out in the end. Then I'm going to put the first shimmer, which is this coppery color, and that one is called Botanic. This color is like, it's so pretty. Even the names are spring-like, not really Christmassy-like. So pretty. And that I'm going to just put all over the lid. And again, not the smoothest like Natasha Denona's usually are in terms of the shimmers, but it'll work, like I said, by the time we get to the end. So that's that. Then I'm going to put on a little bit of the darker color, and the darkest color I'm going to kind of just more enhance the eye. So just kind of in the corners, a little bit on the bottom and upper edge. And then I'm just going to obviously use a little bit of a smaller brush, so something that's quite compact. And that color is, like I said, that purpley color, which is Sakura. And again, that one I'm just going to put on the edge. I'm going to grab actually my mirror. And that I'm just going to line. Kind of use it as a liner. Then I'm going to go back in with that first shade, that first cranberry shade, and just kind of blend it in a little bit more. And it does kind of look slightly patchy. But again, it all comes together with the last shade. It's just unbelievable, truly. Then we're going to put on the second shimmery color, which is this really, really beautiful, sparkly, sort of like pinky purpley color. I'll use my fingers, and I'm going to put that again over top of everything. And that's already bringing it together a little bit more. This one's beautiful. This color is not hard to work with at all. And that I'm just putting, again, all over the lid. You can see the copper just peeking through a little bit. So then what I'm going to do, and it's looking, just kind of taking a peek, I'm going to take that sparkly shade from the middle again, and I'm going to actually take it on the blender brush and just kind of blend out the edges, yes, with the shimmer. Charlotte Tilbury does this all the time. She uses shimmers to blend out creases, and it looks so, so pretty. I know we're always afraid of, even me too, actually I used to always wear shimmers. I would always just pop like one layer of a shimmery color back in like university and stuff, and maybe line my eyes, and I would just put that all over my lid. And then maybe some bronzer in the crease, and it looked good, and I just stopped doing that because I think there was this sort of obsession, it almost seemed like, with using matte shadows only for any crease work, and then your shimmers have to go just on the active lid, like that lower lid part, or the ball of the eye, I guess. And that just blended it beautifully. I don't know what to tell you. It's just so pretty. The bottom, I'm going to do that quick. I'm going to go with a combination of that cranberry shade, and again, the shimmer shade, that golden shimmer shade, and that first cranberry shade. And I'm just going to go underneath. And that golden shimmer, oh, it's not the best as a lid color, but to blend out stuff, so pretty. That looks a bit intense. We're going to blend it a bit more again with our bronzer later. And then for like the best part, should I save this for after mascara? Maybe I will. I'll save that for after mascara. I'm going to quickly line my lids. I'm going to do that off camera because all it's going to be is a bit of carbon. I'll do it. I'll do it now. In worst case, we can always cut that out. So again, I'm using MAC Carbon, which is what I like to normally use. And I'm going to line basically just that edge there and the outer edge. So the inner and the outer. And I don't usually like to touch the middle of the eyeball or eyelid. So again, I'm just going to take some of that, just define that inner and define the outer. I hope I'm in frame. My gosh, if this video doesn't turn out, I'm going to be so sad. And again, the inner, put a bit more. But you live and you learn, and that is life. So yeah, and that just kind of gives a beautiful shape, and I don't need to put anything on that middle. Okay, so now we're going to do a quick mascara. Danger, danger. Gosh, pinching your lashes or your lid with this thing, no matter how many years you've used one, it still happens. I'm sure you guys can all agree. It's just one of the worst experiences ever. Okay, so I'm going to use a different mascara today. I'm going to use Dior Show Pump and Volume in brown. I wanted to leave my lashes a little bit more of a natural color, even though brown's really not a natural color, but just a bit softer, and I just feel it's going to enhance the warm tones in the makeup. So I'm just going to use this brown mascara. I love the Dior HD Dior Show Pump and Volume HD. The original version, so bad. It became so clumpy, so fast. But this is just beautiful. So this mascara, a lot softer than a black. Depending, I think I am going to like it in the brown. But if it's not defined enough, I can always put a little bit of black mascara on top. But I think that looks pretty. Now we're going to go into the face, so we're going to do a bit of a contour. We'll finish the lower lid later. Again, I'm using the Marc Jacobs, the darkest color called Tantalize, and this is going to be on a natural sort of fluffy brush. And again, like my other video, I'm just going to sort of bronzer, I guess you can call it. It's just that first step to give me a little bit of definition. The sun went behind a cloud, so the lighting just changed. Sorry, guys. Okay, and that's enough just to give a bit of definition sort of to those cheekbones. I'm going to do the cream bronzer next. Again, I'm going to be layering cream underneath of the powder products. So I did put a bit of that powder first, but like I said, that one doesn't disturb. It doesn't get disturbed by the cream. Using Chanel Tan de Soleil, or Soleil Tan de Chanel. What's a difficult name to remember? This one got reformulated, and I won't be trying the new one, as it does have the coconut oil in it. But I did buy a backup of this one, and I love it. I do put it kind of all over, focusing on the outside where my third bronzer is gonna go on. Oh, talk about excessive. But kind of, in a sense, all over, down my neck too. So next we're going to put on some blush. Again, I want to put a little bit of the cream blush first. This is kind of a mauvey blush called Relaxation. It's actually Casual Color Lip and Cheek Colors. The Casual Colors by MAC, which I think they still make. I'm going to grab my mirror. And so this color they may not make. I don't know if it was... They do so many like special edition colors that... or like special collections that who can really keep up at this point. But yeah, it's kind of a mauvey color. So any kind of mauvey blush. I was debating to do a bit of a warmer blush underneath, and actually that might be a better idea too. So I might add actually Blossoming by MAC, and this is their older cream blushes. But I think I'm going to add a little bit of that, because if there's too much cool tones, I don't think it'll jive as well, because I do feel like this eye is a combination of warm and cool tones. So again, this one is a little bit warmer toned. If you were to choose one, because I mean 2 cream blushes and then powder on top, like a powder blush on top, is a bit excessive, I would just go with a more peachy tone one, because I think I'm going to be putting more of a mauvey powder blush on top, so I think the peachy cream one underneath just creates a little bit more of a balance to go with the eye. Okay, that's done. We're going to put some of the powder blush, which I'm using an older one by Dior. This one is basically one of their older blushes, but they change products so fast. That's the one thing about Dior. They come up with a product that you love, you fall in love with, and they're constantly turning over their products so much, which is innovative, it's fun, but they don't have a huge core amount of products other than their mascaras, I feel. Their lipsticks are constantly changing. The lip glows, thank goodness, are a core product. So this one's not available anymore. Similar ones would probably be something like Hourglass Mood Exposure, the Chanel blush probably in, I think it's called Rose Innocence, or Rose Initial, sorry, Rose Initial would be similar. Again, I'm going to take more of a compact type blush brush, and again, more Stamp It. And this is quite mauvey, so again, it's going to really tie in with the cooler tones of this eye look. And I'm not shy with blush in this look. I really feel it looks pretty, and we're going to go with a really kind of nude lip, a mauvey nude lip. So I feel like blush is our friend for this look. I think it just kind of ties everything together. Yeah, so pretty. And I go kind of a little bit lower with the blush because I just want it to be flush. Like, it's spring, it's starting to open up, things are starting to come alive. We're not really bright yet, we're not blossoming yet, but things are starting to come alive slowly, so let's kind of create that sort of vibe with it. Next, we're going to go with the powder bronzer quickly, and then we're going to go with a bit of a highlight, finish off the eyes, and then we're done. So my top powder bronzer is going to be this one by Marc Jacobs. It's the original Omega bronzer in Tantric. And again, I'm just going to go over mainly where I would bronze. And again, down my neck. Just kind of looking at my other mirror too, just to get a better look, but I think that's looking good. Oh, I like how this is turning out. Then we're going to highlight, and I'm going to use my latest favorite highlighting palette, which I'm so glad I got. Grab it during the sale if you can. I got it as soon as it came out because I was scared it was going to sell out again, and it hasn't, so I didn't wait for the sale. But this is the Hourglass Ambient Metallic Strobe Lighting Palette. It is so beautiful. I absolutely love it. I'm going to go with the two lightest colors on the same brush that I set my under eyes with because I love it. It's so fluffy and easy to highlight with, and that just creates that nice glow. I feel like this too, you can sort of spritz your face with a little bit of like MAC Fix Plus and then put your highlight on, and that would look so blinding as well for like a night out. When we can have a night out. Not that I've had nights out anyways, regardless of everything that's happening, because with young kids you really don't get nights out. You know, my parents sometimes offer to watch them, but we don't like to take advantage too much because they help us out with watching our children while we're at work, so we don't push, even though they probably would do it, of course, so we don't go with that much. But this would be a really pretty look for when we can finally go out again. Okay, that's that. I just pounced a little bit more of that, whatever's left on that blush brush. So that's good. I'm going to finish up the eyes. I do want to line a little bit of a brown, just pencil liner underneath. This one's by MAC. Just to define that outer edge. I'm going to use my bronzer, just the same one by Marc Jacobs, just to kind of blend out that lower lash line. I feel like it just makes everything more cohesive. I am going to put a little bit of lower mascara on this time, and this is the MAC Extended Play Giga Black. So pretty, and this one does create a nice lower lash. Okay, so the mascara is on, just a little bit on the lower lashes. I think that looks good. And then the last bit is going to be the beautiful last color I'm going to put on from the Cranberry palette, and it's this beautiful shade on the end called Daisy. Again, this feels like it's way more of a spring palette, but like I said, it came out in Christmas time. This is so beautiful. Like, honestly, it is just, it puts everything together, and it creates that little bit of extra cool tone to sort of work with that cool toned cheek. And this I just put on the center mostly. So pretty. I say that a lot. Oh, my husband's gonna be like, yeah, I'll have a drinking game when you say, every time you say so pretty. But it is, it's so pretty. Okay, and that just creates that little bit of extra sparkle. So that's good. I'm gonna put a little bit of the Cargo, it's just a cream eyeshadow. It's really sparkly in a stick. This was part of a special collection, so I don't know if you can still get it, but any kind of cream, sort of cream eyeshadow stick would work. Laura Mercier makes them, Bobbi Brown makes them, so those are good alternatives, and they should have a champagne color. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to do is put on some lipstick. So with this one here, I'm going to be using MAC in Modesty. It's a cream sheen lipstick. So this one here, it's just quite mauvey, not a ton of warm tones in it, which is why you did want a little bit of mauve on your cheeks to tie it all in together. So slightly monochromatic. and I'm not going to use a liner. I don't usually like to use a liner, so I'm not going to. And I'm just going to use a mirror though. I don't know why I don't like to use liners. I don't know. It's weird. I have some good ones. I don't know. I think that's good. You could put a lip gloss over top just to kind of give it a little bit more shine, but I kind of just like it like this. And I think that's it. I think we're done. So zhuzh up the hair. And I think that's it. I think it turned out really, really nice. The eyeshadows blended pretty well. I might want to extend it just a little bit there. And that's the thing, at the end of your makeup, you can just kind of take a look at the full picture. So I have my mirror here. I'm just kind of taking a look at the full picture and just see what I would do. And I just want to blend out some of those edges a little bit more and pull them slightly out, and I think that's pretty. So that is it. And yeah, it's a beautiful look. I can't wait to wear this out. Unfortunately, I can't really wear this to work. It's a bit too much, so I'm glad that I can film going forward some looks that are a little bit more fun, because like I said, I don't tend to go out that much with my husband these days. Like, we have 2 young children. It just doesn't happen. Our nights are literally staying at home, cooking, and just kind of like, you know, chilling together. So this is fun. This is really, really fun. I'm excited. So this is pretty. I like it. I hope you liked it. Again, may you all have a wonderful day. Peace, love, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.